This is VOA News. I'm David Byrd. The United States is planning new sanctions against Turkey's economy if its incursion into northeastern Syria goes too far. As AP's Ed Donahue reports, Turkey's president remains defiant despite U.S. criticism of his country's offensive against Kurds.
In Turkey, President Erdogan says he told President Trump and others, if you're going to stop this, stop it. But they haven't stopped it, so they will take matters into their own hands. Defense Secretary Mark Esper says the U.S. is disappointed in Turkey moving in after U.S. forces moved out of northern Syria.
To be clear, we are not abandoning our Kurdish partner forces, and U.S. troops remain with them in other parts of Syria.
Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin says there could be powerful new U.S. sanctions against Turkey.
There are no sanctions at this time, but this will be the broadest executive authorities delegated to us.
Mnuchin says if Turkey goes too far, the U.S. will shut down its economy. Ed Donahue, Washington.
President Donald Trump says the United States and China have agreed to the first phase of a trade deal that would end a 15-month-old trade war between the world's two largest economies. Mr. Trump said the deal covers a variety of fronts, including currencies and agriculture.
Well, we've come to a deal on intellectual property, financial services, a tremendous deal for the farmers, a purchase of from $40 to $50 billion worth of agricultural products.
The deal averts a 5% increase on $250 billion worth of Chinese goods set to go into effect next Tuesday. Trump has yet to change plans to impose tariffs December 15th on an additional $160 billion in Chinese products, a move that would extend the sanctions to just about everything China ships to the United States. For more, visit our website, voanews.com. This is VOA News. The former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine abandoned diplomatic discretion and accused the Trump administration of recalling her based on false claims and of eviscerating the State Department. AP's Jennifer King has more.
In an opening statement obtained by the Associated Press, Marie Yovanovitch, the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, told congressional lawmakers that the State Department was pressured by President Trump to remove her from her position. In the statement, she said she was abruptly recalled in May. She described her reaction as incredulous that the government had chosen to remove her, quote, based as best I can tell on unfounded and false claims by people with clearly questionable motives, unquote. She said she was told by an official that there had been a concerted campaign against her and that Trump had pressured officials to remove her for almost a year. Lawmakers are questioning Yovanovitch as part of an impeachment investigation into President Trump's dealings with Ukraine. Jennifer King, Washington.
The 2019 Nobel Peace Prize was awarded Friday to Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. We get details from Reuters correspondent Megan Revell.
The 2019 Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded to Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, lauded for his deal last year with Eritrea, which ended 2 decades of hostility.
In Ethiopia, even if much work remains, Abiy Ahmed has initiated important reforms that give many citizens hope for a better life and a brighter future.
Ethiopia and Eritrea were bitter rivals for decades. They fought a war in the late 1990s in which upwards of 70,000 people died. But in July 2018, Abiy was warmly welcomed to Eritrea by its president. Their meeting was the first of its kind after a 20-year military standoff.
That's Megan Revell of Reuters. Federal courts in New York and California have temporarily blocked the Trump administration from expanding the list of public assistance programs that could lead to the denial of a green card for immigrants. AP's Jackie Quinn reports.
The new rules set to start next week have been blocked, meaning the Trump administration cannot disqualify migrants seeking legal residency if they're likely to become a burden on public welfare programs. The Trump administration said expanding the list of services that would disqualify a person would help guarantee that the immigrants granted residency are self-sufficient. But the judge says the changes would immediately put migrants who followed the law at risk for economic insecurity, health instability, denial of citizenship, and potential deportation. A similar injunction's been announced from a California judge affecting a handful of states. Jackie Quinn, Washington.
For more on these stories, be sure to visit our website, voanews.com. I'm David Byrd, VOA News.